Hey guys, welcome to Tips on Tuesday. I'm Ladero Hart.
I'm Danielle Hart.
And we're House of Lave. Listen. It's been a long time. We haven't done a Tips on Tuesday probably in like a month, right? I think if we look back on our last Tips on Tuesday, it's probably about 4 weeks ago. So
and because of Pesach and everything that
that's why.
came up too. So
that's why.
Yeah.
So, but we're back and we want to share something really cool that we've been learning this past week. I mean, really our whole entire parenting, right? But we've been really focusing on this particularly.
And experiencing it. Because our Tips on Tuesdays, we like to really talk about kind of what we've experienced for the past week and then kind of talk about that. And this is just kind of this is where we are right now as far as our experiences. So the topic that we want to talk about is parenting, right? I think you can never get enough of learning about parenting and how to become a better parent, but most importantly, just how to effectively parent, right? And so that's our tip that we definitely want to talk about for this week.
So let's just jump right into it. Our kids don't do what we say, they do what we do. Period. We've been trying to really wrap our heads around this because as parents, you want what's best for your kids. And a lot of times we think that by us saying to do this, do that, that's what's best for our kids, right? But we've learned that it doesn't matter what we say if they don't see us doing it. I can tell my son all day long to, go study Torah, right? Make sure you're reading the Parsha. But if I'm not reading the Parsha, it's not going to connect. He's not going to be able to connect those dots, right? And so a very good friend of ours, his name is Rabbi Kalmus. Big shout out to Rabbi Kalmus. We spent the day with them a couple months back, and you guys have watched a couple of the videos as well. He did a live. He did a video with us on relationships. We asked him a question about parenting. It was a profound response, but so simple. First, he started with the Torah. He said somebody once told him or asked him, when it comes to Abraham Avinu or Abraham and his son Isaac, how many times in the Torah does it show or explain Abraham teaching Isaac? He said he thought about it and he couldn't really think of it. He couldn't really think of a time that the Torah actually explains or shows Abraham teaching his son. And so he says, what is the Torah trying to teach us? It's teaching us that the best way to teach your kids is by doing it. It's by being the example. Right? And so Abraham, he was the example to his son. He led by action. And it was very powerful. And then he connected that, and he was talking about a story with his son. And his son likes to read a lot. And he was like, well, I do love reading, but I'm only reading because I see you read.
That's beautiful.
And it really hit our hearts.
Yeah, and which shows your example is everything. And I know in one of our videos, I think it was the one I was talking about kind of modesty and that changed for me in that shift. And I even mentioned that, nothing changed for my daughter until she saw me consistently. I didn't make her dress modestly. I didn't, tell her you have to do this right now. It started with my example. It started with me. And when I consistently did it, she saw it and came up to me and said, I think I should be wearing dresses now, right? So your example is everything to your children. So with all of this said, that's exactly why your example is everything. With our kids, with right now where they're at, especially our older two, we're not forcing anything on our children. We just want to be the example to our children. We want them to come to a place of where they're building their relationship with Hashem, that they want to grow in Torah, that they want to dive into it, that it's not forced upon them, but it does start with my husband and I, and so we just want to continue to be that example. And that's kind of what we're experiencing for the week with our kids. And so we wanted to kind of bring that up and talk about that because we see that's where we're at right now, is a place of just continuing just to be that example. Because I feel like wherever you're at right now, or your frustrations with your children, you just have to look back at yourself. We're the mirror to our children, and whatever we're frustrated in, we have to reflect and say, okay, am I being that what I want my kids to do? So that's something that has helped me and my husband when it comes to parenting.
I remember something that you always used to say when it comes to our kids being mirrors.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to point the finger at your child when they're maybe misbehaving or something, and you're constantly telling them not to do it, you know, why do you do this? And my wife, she used to say beautifully that the reason that our kids is acting out or they're having certain challenges is to show us that this is an area that we need to work on.
Absolutely.
Right? So in
100%.
actuality, our kids are mirrors to us. And they reflect back on the different areas that we need to work on. So they're actually kind of exposing and shining light on different areas, right? So it's like if our kids are, maybe they have very, very bad mouths and it's consistent, what is that telling us probably? We should probably not go so hard on them, but we should probably use that as an opportunity to say, wow, like maybe the reason that they're saying these bad words is because they heard me and their mom say these bad words, you know, and so on and so forth, right? And so I think that's a very, very powerful lesson, and it's easy to forget. It's easy to forget. So another thing we've learned when it comes to parenting is responding and not reacting.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think when it comes to our children doing things that they're not supposed to, which is what kids do, I think one thing that would really help our children as well as us is to not be so quick to react. Instead, we should be very, very quick to respond, meaning respond softly. We should maybe take a couple breaths first, right? Rather than just reacting really quick, right? They do something, reaction. They do something, reaction. You know, so respond first. And then with that response, then it's easier, I believe, to be able to say, okay, what is it that I need to change to be able to remedy this situation?
Yeah, because reaction actually causes distance. It can cause distance to your children, because if you're reacting in a way, they're going to feel tense about wanting to even come to you for a situation. If you're reacting in a way that's just angry, right? If you're angry or, you know, whatever the situation is.
Yeah.
So responding gives them more of a relaxed, and gives them more of a relaxed response, and also gives them the opportunity to want to come to you more.
Yeah, absolutely. So we really hope that's helpful. And again, this is our Tips on Tuesday, where we talk about what we've learned in the week. And so with God's help, we can continue to put Tips on Tuesday videos out. And because I know even by us sitting here talking about it, it's a blessing to us, and it helps us to be able to kind of talk through it. So, so that's it. If you guys enjoy these videos, please be sure to subscribe, comment, like, share, and do the whole nine. And we'll make sure that we'll put other Tips on Tuesday videos right here on the screen, so you can check out the ones that we've done in the past. And if you don't mind, maybe share in the comments if you can maybe relate to something that we said. And we'd love to be able to hear maybe some of your parenting tips as well.
Yes.
So thank you guys so much for tuning in. We love you guys, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yes. Bye, guys.